This video is for all of you ladies who have come into my inbox being like, please, please, please do an interview on Caroline Deisler. And so today we are going to be doing a type of response video. I'm going to be responding to Caroline's how to lose weight on a vegan diet tips that work. I'm going to respond to her video. I picked this one in particular because I was completely just shocked listening to it, being like, wow, everything that she just said is like everything I did at like the height of my eating disorder, and that's telling, right? So here she is being like, here's how to lose weight and be healthy, and I'm sitting there going like, did that when I had an eating disorder, did that when I had an eating disorder, did that when I had an eating disorder. So I hope that this video is really helpful for a lot of you guys to just see how disordered a lot of these things that are promoted online are. Now, before we get started, I have to say that this video is in no way me saying anything negative about Caroline herself and her character and her as a person. I really don't like to talk negatively about people, so this is not really about Caroline and more just about the things that she's talking about and addressing that, because I think it's really important that you guys armor yourself against diet culture. And so just wanted to start off by saying that, because that's always a little tricky, right? It's like I want to show how certain behaviors are unhealthy and help educate you guys, and you know, showing via someone's story and what they're putting online is the easiest way really for me to do that, I feel like. And so kind of a tricky line for me to be walking, right? But I just want to again repeat, this is not me trying to be negative towards this person. So we're going to go through this video. I have a lot of articles and various doctors that we're going to be looking at kind of what they have said about certain topics that Caroline is talking about. And so it's not just going to be, hey, this is my opinion, this is like dangerous or unhealthy for your body. I'm going to be pulling up what the doctors and the professionals are saying in regards to these things. So it should be pretty interesting. Let's just get to it before this intro gets any longer.
To a new video. You probably all have been waiting for this video, as I got so many questions about how to lose weight on a vegan diet, and you know, I never really address weight loss, but there are some things that definitely work. So I want to share my top tips for you guys how to lose weight on a plant-based diet.
So I know how, how alluring it is to just find these people who are really skinny online and be like, ooh, what are they doing to lose weight? Like, they must know it all, right? And they must be super healthy. And we have to keep in mind that skinny doesn't equal health, and that just because someone is in a thin body doesn't mean that they are healthy or that they got there in a healthy way. And so she's saying like, hey, you guys are all asking me like how to lose weight on a vegan diet. I'm just saying it doesn't mean that she is someone who lost weight in a healthy way, or that she isn't suppressing her body weight, and that her body is happy and healthy at the weight that she's at. So it's easy to want to be like, wow, you like look good, right? Which, I mean, that's all subjective, right? But let's say from a diet culture or society standard, she looks good. And so it's so easy to be like, ooh, okay, so I just want to do everything that you're doing. And again, we kind of, I don't want to say the word forget, but maybe don't really just understand that someone could be dealing with an eating disorder, and then you're looking towards them and going like, oh my gosh, you lost weight, let me do everything you did. Again, I do not diagnose people, especially people online. So I'm not saying her, I'm just saying in general, it is easy to look at someone who has the societal ideal body shape, right? And look at them and be like, wow, you must be super healthy, let me copy everything that you're doing. Which, you guys, hopefully you are learning. If not, watch all of my videos, listen to all of my content, go on to Instagram. Like, hopefully you are learning that we are all so bio-individual and unique, and that what works for one person won't necessarily work for another. So that's why I do not like promote a diet, because I'm like, what? Like, what diet can I promote to all of my followers that would make sense and work for them? I have worked with hundreds of people at this point, and I've worked with people from all over the world, from Finland, from Sweden, from Australia, New Zealand, from Japan, from France, from America, from Canada, from Nicaragua. Like, I've worked with people, oh my gosh, South Africa, I worked with someone. So I've worked with people all over the world, and everyone has a different culture. They have different food that culture eats, and I always push for my clients to start eating those foods that they grew up with, foods that are in their culture. So if you're in Costa Rica, it's like, okay, you're gonna be eating rice and beans and ceviche and things like that. If you're in Japan, you're gonna be doing lots of rice and noodles and sushi and things like that. If you are in Sweden, you're gonna be doing tons of dairy products and milk and cream and all of those things. And so I just always push for people to figure out what works for them, and to understand that it's important to kind of eat what our geographical location requires of us, and kind of what our culture and our family and our friends are eating. That way we can be one, we can be part of community. Anyways, I'm on such a big tangent here. Let's get back to this. It doesn't mean that she's healthy just because she's on YouTube making a video being like, how to lose weight on a vegan diet, here are my healthy tips. Doesn't mean that it's healthy. And we're gonna go through why I think all of these are not healthy.
And keep in mind, this is just for everyone who really wants to lose weight. It's not about counting calories or anything. It's just if you need to lose weight, and yeah, this really works.
So I want to stop there. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stop every 2 seconds on this video. But she mentioned that this isn't about counting calories. And this is something that I personally, when I was vegan, that was kind of why I chose to be vegan, to be honest, because I was still struggling with my eating disorder at that point. And I loved the idea of, like, I could eat copious amounts of food and not gain weight. Like, that is like eating disorder heaven, right? Let me fill up my stomach with a bunch of veggies and fruit, and veggies and fruit and veggies and fruit, pretty much all just that. And I know it's going to be really low calorie, and it's going to be hard for my body to gain weight on that, but I have such an insatiable primal need and desire to eat food. And so if I'm really afraid of gaining weight and I'm really afraid of calories, well, then I'm just going to eat copious amounts of fruits and vegetables, right? And I always told myself, like, oh, look, I'm healthy. I'm not counting calories. I'm not tracking macros. I'm simply just eating an abundance of only these 2 food groups, right? I'm eating an abundance of vegetables, and it makes it seem like, wow, abundance, like you throw that word out there, it's like an abundance of vegetables, totally cool, you're eating abundantly. No, you're not. You just cut out like nearly every single food group that's known to mankind, right? You're not eating dairy, you're not eating eggs, you're not eating fish, you're not eating meat, there's so many things that you are just not eating. And so, just from the very definition of it, it's not abundantly eating. Anyways, I see this happen a lot. This isn't about counting calories. You can eat as much as you want. Yeah.
Number 1 tip, do intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting means you're not eating for 16 hours and you only eat for 8 hours. But you can stretch it as long as you want. The longer, the better.
Great. So here's this very restrictive, like, timing of meals, right? You can only eat for 8 hours, but if you can even stretch your fasting for even longer, that's even better. What are you supposed to freaking eat if you, like, keep on stretching it? If I go, oh, I can only eat for 4 hours a day, like, I'm gonna fast for 20, like, what? you need to eat. Gosh, I can't even produce words out of my mouth right now because this is so alarming. We're gonna finish what she says about intermittent fasting. I'm gonna shut my mouth here for a second, and then we're gonna dive into what Dr. Stacy Sims, some of the science and research says about intermittent fasting.
So you either start eating at 12 or 2 p.m. or at 3, 4 p.m. Stretch it.
You guys, by 4 p.m. I've had like 5 meals, just saying.
As long as you can. It's really good to give your digestive system a little break, and it's really...
You know what? I'm sorry, I said I wasn't gonna pause it, but... Okay, it's good to give your digestive system a break. Yes and no. So yes, if we are constantly grazing all day, mind you, this is different when you are in eating disorder recovery. Like, you need to kind of be grazing all day. That's because you're building your body strength back, and that's like super, super important. But let's just take normal human being, never dealt with an eating disorder, just normal human being. Yeah, if they are just constantly like every 20 minutes eating, you're never giving your body that time to just like, woo, let me just like focus on this food. Let me digest this properly. So that's the yes part to this. Now the no part is your digestive system is like a muscle, and if you don't use it, you lose it. And so this idea of like, it's super good to give your digestive system a break, I'm like, yeah, but not that much of a break. Like, sure, like a 2-hour break in between a meal, not like 18 hours from intermittent fasting. That's going to be a great way to lose all those muscles and the strength of your digestive system. Just saying.
Really helpful to burn fat, because once your body used all the sugars and all the carbs you ate, it's starting to burn fat. That's why you wake up in the morning with a flat tummy, because your body like metabolized a lot of fat, and that's why you want to do intermittent fasting, because then your body is burning fat.
Okay, let's talk about this. So she said you want to do intermittent fasting because you want to burn through all of the glucose in your body so that you can start burning fat. Okay, so biology 101 here. Us human bodies, our primary fuel source is glucose. We need glucose to survive. Now, in the event that we take away glucose, whether we're doing intermittent fasting or we have gone keto and have completely eliminated carbs from our diet, at that point, the body will start burning fat, but it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to, guys. And it can be very dangerous when we start becoming fat adapted, especially for women who are in their fertile years. You want to be giving your body the primary source of fuel, which is glucose, which comes from carbs. Carbs are super, super important for a woman to be eating, like ridiculously important, which I would say, I think that's why as women, we tend to love carbs. Like, we love our carbs. I love my pasta, I love my bread, I love my couscous, I love potatoes, I love everything, right? But I specifically have like an affinity for carbs, and I think a lot of women do. Diet culture comes in and goes, carbs, bad, no, why are you eating carbs? Which is unfortunate, again, because that is our fuel source, and this isn't healthy, just making your body be fat adapted. This is a little excerpt I got from Dr. Chris Kresser. He's talking about the dangers of a keto diet. So he says, hypothyroidism is one of the most commonly cited medical reasons for needing to eat a moderate carb diet. The main reason why carbs affect thyroid function so directly is because insulin is needed for the conversion of the inactive T4 hormone into the active T3 hormone, and insulin is generally quite low on a very low carb diet. So if you suddenly start developing hypothyroid symptoms, which if you are someone who deals with energy debt and a low metabolism, this is you. It's a pretty good sign that you'd be better off upping your carbs. He goes on to say that the HPA axis dysregulation, also known as adrenal fatigue, also the thing that gets so impacted when you have amenorrhea, that is all about the HPA axis. He says that this would be another reason why it would be very important to make sure that you eat carbs so that your HPA axis doesn't have issues.
Yeah, your metabolism is not slowing down. It's actually healing. Your body has time to cleanse itself. It is really working. So yeah, do intermittent fasting. Then
Okay, how is your metabolism not slowing down? If you starve yourself, you guys, this is like 101 what I teach my clients, right? I'm like, okay, so you come to me, you've been restrictively eating, you have been under eating, you've been intermittent fasting, doing all these things, your metabolism is slow. How do I know it's slow? You don't have a period, you have digestive issues, you're not sleeping well, your hair is falling out, your immune system is completely tanked. Those are all signs that you have a low metabolic rate. Our metabolism is like a fire, and if we neglect to give our fire wood or kindling, aka food, our fire is going to dwindle. If you want a strong metabolism, like, this is so shocking, because I'm like, this is, it's, when you really understand the physiology of humans, but specifically female physiology, you understand that when you lower your calories, you lower your metabolic rate. And that if you want a high metabolism, which means, guys, good balanced hormones, strong immune system, good digestion, like those are all the things that come with a high metabolic rate. And we want all those things because that's health, right? If you want that, you need to be eating consistently. You need to be giving your body the energy, the resources, the calories, the nutrients that it needs on a very consistent basis. And so that's just completely false that you're going to be increasing your metabolism by fasting. Like, what? No. So can we take this to Dr. Stacy Sims now? And gosh, if you don't know who she is, please do yourself a favor and just go binge read everything she has ever written. She's on so many podcasts. She did a TED Talk called Why Women Are Not Small Men. And she talks about how, you know, all of this research done, or a lot of the research done, especially on intermittent fasting, is done on men. They specifically took women out of the studies for intermittent fasting because their hormones messed it up. Excuse me, we are hormonal creatures. You can't just take us out of the study because we have hormones and it was messing it up. You need to then do a study that is showing how intermittent fasting is affecting our hormones. Like, if our hormones are messing up the study, doesn't that just like ding, 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 ding? That's not something good. So I highly recommend listening to her TED Talk. Let's just look at a couple of her Instagram posts. So this is what Dr. Stacy Sims has to say in regards to intermittent fasting. She says, if you're a woman who is adding athletics on top of intermittent fasting, it can be harmful to both your performance and your health. It comes down to kisspeptin, which is a neuropeptide that's responsible for sex hormones and endocrine reproductive function, which also plays a significant role in maintaining healthy glucose levels, appetite regulation, and body composition. It's also more sensitive in women than men. Again, there's a difference between how a man reacts to something versus how a woman is going to. So when it gets perturbed, our sex hormones aren't produced and released the way they need them to be. Ding, ding, ding. This is where hormonal issues start coming, PCOS, amenorrhea, even like endometriosis, all of those things. So she says, intermittent fasting and keto both disrupt kisspeptin production. When our brain perceives we have a deficiency in nutrients, especially carbohydrates, we have a marked reduction in kisspeptin stimulation, which not only increases our appetite, but also reduces our sensitivity to insulin. This is why research shows intermittent fasting is more likely to cause impaired glucose intolerance in women, but not men. So I wanted to pause here just for a second. The increased appetite, we do see this a lot outside of people who are dealing with an eating disorder where appetite levels are completely dysregulated, and a lowering of an appetite is more likely to happen here. So you always have to keep in mind with this stuff, like who is this written for? Okay, general population, what are they more struggling with versus what I am going through? It's like really important to look at that. So just wanted to put that out there, that a decrease in appetite, or I would just say it's appetite dysregulation, is going to be happening here. So we continue. It says, what happens when we layer exercise stress on top of the stress of denying our bodies an important fuel source? Stress hormones like cortisol rise even higher. As you keep increasing that stress, it keeps your sympathetic drive high and reduces your ability to relax. Your thyroid activity is depressed, which messes with your menstrual cycle. So now you're looking at disrupted menstrual cycles, higher anxiety, stress, and impaired performance. Pretty much the opposite of what you're looking for. The ketogenic diet has very similar effects on women athletes. We hear people rave about the increased mental focus with the keto diet. In men, yes, this can happen. They have an increase in their parasympathetic, aka rest and digest activity, so they can be more relaxed and present. In women, though, keto picks up our sympathetic, aka our fight or flight system, so we are more anxious, more prone to being depressed, we can't sleep very well, again, which hurts our hormonal health, performance, well-being, and body composition. Sometimes women will contend that these diets work so well for them, and they might for the first 3 months because nearly any diet will yield some effects in the short term. The long-term effects for women athletes, however, is endocrine dysfunction, increase in abdominal fat, more depression, and a backlash of subsequent fat gain. Women athletes perform far better in a fed state. Women athletes need to eat. So there you go, guys, from the doctor herself, the doctor who has studied women and athletics and diet trends and intermittent fasting. She has actually dedicated her life to understand how the female body works, specifically too with, a female who wants to be athletic. And she's kind of laying it out here of like, there's a lot of issues that happen specifically for women when they start to underfuel and when they start to do things like intermittent fasting or keto diets. So Caroline, I do not think that this advice to intermittent fast is wise and should be adopted by most of your followers, because most of them are women. And you do a lot of workout stuff, and she's going to talk about working out here in a second. You work out a lot. All of your, Instagram is about working out. So you were literally teaching women to do the two things that so many doctors and researchers, specifically like Dr. Stacy Sims, are like shouting at the top of their lungs, being like, this is not healthy or supportive for a woman to be doing intermittent fasting, especially if she is an athlete and she is working out. So let's continue on here.
And come to my second tip is work out on an empty stomach. Same reason for intermittent fasting, because in the morning when you work out on an empty stomach, your body is starting to burn fat right away. And instead, if you have like a small breakfast or you eat some healthy carbs before, it's totally healthy, but for weight loss, like your body will start to burn what you just ate first, and then it's going to start to burn fat. So if you didn't eat before, your body will start to burn fat right away. Do some high intensity cardio so your body is really getting into burning mode. Yeah, that's what tones you down, makes you burn a lot more. And then after the workout, try not to eat for like at least an hour, because your body is still burning. And as soon as you're eating, your whole body, your whole energy is going to digesting the food you just ate, and it's going to stop to burn. So number one, do intermittent fasting. Number two, work out on an empty stomach, and try to not eat for an hour, 2 hours after you work out. So
you guys, this girl's whole thing is just all about not eating, not eating, not eating. When was this ever a good idea? Like, please, in the comment section down below, for those of you guys who have spent, a lot of their life restricting or under eating, how has that worked out for you? Like, how are your hormones? How's your digestive health? How's your mental health? Just let me know in the comment section down below. I can tell you from my experience that simply just trying to not be a human, aka not eating, never really works out. We kind of just need this thing called food. Our body's like, it's created to digest and assimilate food and to use that as our fuel. So I don't get how this could ever be a solution for health, just trying to restrict ourselves of eating. Okay, not eating in the morning before a workout, because she's like, this will help burn fat. This is going to be very taxing on the body. It's like diet culture. Okay, sure, it can get you to lose weight. Like, you follow the, low calorie diets, the intermittent fasting, fasted workouts, all of that stuff. Yeah, for a lot of people, temporarily, that is going to lead to a reduction of weight. But that doesn't mean it leads to better health. Again, skinny doesn't equal healthy, and losing weight, and specifically losing weight really fast, can be very taxing on the body, and that can be very dangerous. It's like the better way to go about losing weight, if someone was to try and lose weight, would be to strengthen your metabolism, to nourish your body so that it has all the nutrients, the minerals, the vitamins, everything that it needs to function properly and optimally, so that you can have balanced hormones, so that you can be sleeping well, so that your adrenals are working properly and not overburdened with cortisol. And it's like that would be the better way to have health and to get to a balanced weight, not forcing deprivation and punishing exercise on yourself. Like that's stress, and stress never leads to health. So better way would be to nourish your body, then go weight train and build muscle and do all of that, but don't be depriving your body of the fuel it needs. I want to bring it back to Dr. Stacy Sims. She really is kind of the expert in this area, guys. Her one post here says, fuel for what you're doing. Please just go and like read this. We'll read some of it here though. She says, for years and years, we've been taught that losing weight is this calories out, calories in type of ordeal, when it's just not that simple, especially as an active woman. And don't get me started on how many women I've seen ending up in a low energy availability because of fad, calorie restrictive diets. Our bodies are designed to have food as fuel, and we need carbs to fuel us doing workouts. This is especially important when talking about why I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting. If you go into an exercise session completely fasted, especially in the morning when cortisol is highest, you risk, here are the things that you risk: driving cortisol up and creating an elevated baseline of cortisol. Now, I teach this in the Get Your Flow On course. When you have elevated cortisol, you have decreased sex hormones. They work on a seesaw. You cannot have both high, both low. It's just when one's high, the other is low. So you wake up in the morning because of high cortisol, and then you go and work out, which increases cortisol even more. Now your cortisol is like freaking up to the sky. Like, you can't get those cortisol levels down, meaning you can't get your sex hormones up. She also says you will risk adrenal fatigue from long-term cortisol elevation. Yeah, your body doesn't want to be in a high stress state all the time. So she goes on and just says, remember, you need to fuel your body for the movement that you are doing. Don't sacrifice your athletic success with restricting calories or fasting. Your day-to-day nutrition is key. Prioritize like eating well. Okay, we're gonna end that one and let's go to this one right here. She also says your pre-workout snack should accomplish 3 things. 1, provide fuel so you go into workout fully energized. Yeah, what a like novel thought, right? Like, let me give my body fuel before I work out and try and build strength. This would be, okay, this is what I think of. When I hear people doing fasted workouts, to me, I'm like, that is like driving your car on empty and then filling it up. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you want to drive your car and you want it to actually get you somewhere, you need to fill up your car with gas before you drive, right? You can't just like drive your car on complete empty and then be like, I'm gonna fill you up after, don't worry. No. So this is the same thing with you. You need to fill up your body, especially replenish your glucose stores before you go into a workout so that you're energized, so that your body isn't pooling from your resources, which is very taxing and damaging. She also says your pre-workout snack should help minimize muscle breakdown. Like, when I was doing this, the intermittent fasting and fasted workouts, I could not build muscle for the life of me, guys. Like, no muscle being created, rather it was being destroyed, even though I was going to the gym and lifting weights, but you could see it. I was just getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and not building any lean muscle mass. Okay. She also says it will make you feel good mentally and physically. Yeah, when you eat and when you're nourished, you just feel good. Like, point blank, that's it. So, again, Caroline, I feel like this is very dangerous to tell someone that they shouldn't be eating before a workout. Also, she said don't eat after a workout. Again, it's like, when are you eating? So you want to eat before and after a workout because that helps replenish your body and gives your body all the things that it needs to actually build lean muscle mass, to actually strengthen your bones, and do all those things that we're wanting from our workout. So let's take a listen to her 3rd weight loss tip. I'm sure it's gonna be a good one.
Coming to my number 3, cleanse your colon. Like, your colon is your whole immune system, and you don't want a lot of old waste stuck in your colon. You want it to be super clean, and for that you need to do colonics, or you're doing a home enema. Home enemas, it costs nothing. You just order the enema bag, you fill it up with 2-3 liters of water, and don't worry guys, it's just water, so nothing is gonna happen. You're just gonna clean out your colon, and you won't imagine how much better you're gonna feel afterwards. Like, instant relief, and you're gonna feel so much better. So you need to start cleaning your colon first, or get a professional colonics. This is my tip number 3, and yeah, those. So, first off, you should feel great in the morning from having a natural poo. Like, when you have a good metabolism, you have a great digestive system where you don't feel so backed up that you need to get a colonic. So back in my days when
Like when I was listening to this, I was like, that is exactly what I did. Did the intermittent fasting, did the fasted workouts, and religiously did colonics and home enemas. So let me tell you a thing or two about this. One, colonics, she was like, it's totally fine, it's just water, nothing's gonna happen to you. I beg to differ, actually. There are a lot of dangerous potential side effects that can happen from doing colon cleansing. Let's just, I don't know, maybe ask a doctor on this. So we have Sang W. Lee, who's an MD, professor of clinical surgery at the Keck School of Medicine at USC, and chief of the division of colorectal surgery at Keck Medicine of USC. Okay, so maybe this doctor kind of knows his stuff about the colon, right? So he says, many people think that by getting rid of fecal material, they are getting rid of toxins in the body. But this is not true at all. A colon cleanse involves flushing large amounts of water, up to 16 gallons, through the colon using a tube that's inserted into the rectum. Yeah, it's not that comfortable, guys. Sometimes coffee or herbs are mixed into the water. In other cases, a small amount of water sits in the colon for a short time and then is removed. Not only do medical studies not support the supposed benefits of colon cleansing, but the procedure comes with some risk. Research even suggests that several deaths can be linked to coffee enemas. So here you have this influencer being like, nothing's gonna happen to you, you're totally fine, I do it all the time. And here the research is showing that there has been several deaths that are connected with this. So colon cleansing has the potential to cause dehydration. This is really, really important. When you are dealing with an eating disorder or disordered eating, you can get very, very dehydrated. Dehydration doesn't really have, I mean, yes, obviously how much you drink plays a role in that, but that's not the only thing that's like affecting your hydration or dehydration levels in your body. When you are malnourished, you tend to be very dehydrated, and that's very dangerous. This is why a lot of people have very dry skin when they are restricting. So colon cleansing will increase your risk of dehydration. It may also perforate the bowels, increase your risk of infection, and alter your electrolyte levels, which can be especially dangerous if you suffer from kidney or heart problems. And I want to add an eating disorder, because you already suffer from heart problems, kidneys are probably shot as well, and your electrolyte levels are already off because you aren't eating enough, so you're not getting the right amounts of potassium and all those things. So this is like ridiculously dangerous for someone who is underfueled. This is, I mean, dangerous for someone who is fueled, but specifically very dangerous for someone who's already coming from a very taxed state. So it says, other side effects are nausea, cramping, vomiting, bloating. It says initial relief may come from abdominal decompression, but it's only temporary. Colonics can be dangerous as well. It's often performed by non-medical personnel and can severely injure the patients. I have seen several serious complications related to colonics, including rectal perforation. And it says, most importantly, colon cleansing isn't necessary to detox. Your digestive system and bowels already remove toxins on their own. Imagine that. You also need to keep beneficial bacteria in your gastrointestinal system to aid in digestion. As we understand more about microbiome, we know that there are good and bad bacteria that reside in our digestive system. Having colonics may disturb that balance and cause more issues in the long run. It certainly does not get rid of only the bad toxins or the bad bacteria. Okay, this is super, super important. I actually hadn't read this far in the article, so I'm glad that they mentioned this, because I was going to mention this. It can really disrupt your gut microbiome. Yeah, it's not just eliminating the bad things, which we need the quote-unquote bad bacteria there, guys. It's a very delicate balance. You can't just wipe all the bad bacteria away. That can be very dangerous. You need that good balance of the good and the bad bacteria. When you just flush everything out, really, really dangerous, and can really alter your microbiome, which has such an impact on your health. Inflammation, disease, everything, like, it can be traced back to your gut microbiome. And so you want to make sure that you have a good gut microbiome, and that's going to come from eating well, not eating. brief intermission to just share with you guys some very exciting news. The Get Your Flow On course, which is an online, self-paced mastermind course to teach you everything you need to know about getting your period back, finding food freedom, and strengthening your metabolism, is now officially here. Pre-order for this course will begin on January 10th, and then shortly after, the course doors will be opened up, and I couldn't be any more excited. And I hope you guys are excited too, because for the girls who sign up for this course, they are going to have a radically different 2022 than the girls who don't. I have put my heart, my soul, everything that I know, both from my experience and from working with hundreds of women through this whole journey, and from my education and skills that I have developed over the years to help you guys throughout this whole process. So make sure you click the link down below to get your $100 off before the course officially launches. Just saying.
3 tips you have to follow, like they're the best tips. Okay, so my next point is
they're the best tips.
Probiotics.
So number 4, she just talked about taking probiotics. I just don't have the time to talk about that, and I want to get to number 5 because I think it's a little bit more interesting.
Focus on fresh, raw fruits, vegetables. Don't go crazy on the nuts, because when did you ever just ate a handful of nuts? Like, whenever we start eating nuts, we want like a whole bag, and they're super high in calories. It's nothing bad, it's healthy fat, but just saying, if you're trying to lose weight, it's still calories. So
I hate it when people are so against calories. Like, you need calories. Your body functions off of calories. Don't be so down on calories.
So don't
Poor calories. They literally have just been like demonized their whole life, and they're just sitting there being like, we're just units of energy, like units of energy you need. Okay, let's continue.
On it, go more for like the fresh raw fruits, not so much the dried fruits. I always promote eating a lot of dates.
It's like not even enough to like be vegan. It's like you have to only eat fresh fruits and fresh raw vegetables. That's it. Like, that's all you can eat. Okay, let's continue and then I'll talk.
And it's great even for weight loss, because you won't eat any other sweets and you need something sweet. But yeah, don't go like crazy.
Again, the deprivation mindset. This is great because then you won't eat anything else.
On them, because you still want to burn more than you eat. So just focus on all the raw, fresh fruits, veggies, greens, green smoothies, salads, things like that. To be honest, the more raw, the better, because as soon as something is cooked, you're having more volume with less fiber, so you're less satisfied, which makes you eat more. So,
do you hear that kind of mentality though, of like, you know, the cleaner, the purer, the better. And that's what got me trapped into veganism, was just this idea of purity, of like, yeah, this is so just, it's natural, it's clean, it's pure, it's wholesome, and it's kind of just that mentality that gets sucked in with all of this. But here she is pretty much saying, hey, I'm a vegetable abuser. I just fill up my body with fruits and vegetables, which, you know what, I'm not digging on fruits and vegetables. I like fruits and veggies, guys. Believe it or not, I do. But I understand that they really need to be like not the main thing I eat, and that they need to be more the sides to everything I eat. So like my dinner is a steak with potatoes and like a butter sauce and a side green salad, not a huge green salad. And well, that's it. She's not even having like the steak or the potatoes or the butter or anything like that. This is, again, it's classic. Just fill yourself up. Don't get any calories, which is going to lead to you not getting any nutrition. So now your body's like, whoa, we don't have enough energy, because that's calories, and we don't have enough nutrition. We need to slow our metabolism down because we can't be burning through things so quickly. So let's slow metabolism down, let's conserve, and that's where a lot of issues are going to start happening. So no, it's not as simple as calories in, calories out, and you can't just merely stuff yourself with vegetables and fruit and expect to be healthy.
So those are like my top 5 tips if you're trying to lose weight. Then a few other things you can do, of course, is to work out. You need to like keep your body moving, you need to be exercising, you need to walk, run, take the bicycle, go boxing, do yoga, anything you like, just go work out, move your body, don't sit around all day and expect to lose weight. Sorry guys if I'm a bit harsh, but this is really working, so I want to...
She says, this might be harsh, but this really works. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Sorry guys if I'm a bit harsh, but this is really working, so I want to...
She says, this might be harsh, but this really works. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't. Like, there's so much I want to say, but literally this video is becoming way too long. But you guys hear how wrong that is, right? I know this sounds harsh. You're going to be depriving yourself of every single thing that you want, and you're going to be going against your biological drive to eat calories and good satiating foods, but trust me, it's worth it. You know, we all need to choose for ourselves if it's worth it. I'm on here sharing this stuff because for me, it was not worth it. And I know a lot of women get stuck thinking it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. And I'm just trying to raise the red flag of like, it might not be worth it. It just might not. Yeah, so that's about it. This was shocking. This was so dangerous to be putting out online. She has like, okay, this has 113,000 views on it, which is a lot. And she also has, let's see, she has about 42 subscribers on YouTube, and on Instagram she has, wow, she has about 500,000 on Instagram. So she has about 500,000 followers. A lot of young and impressionable women, I'm sure, follow her. And who cares if they're not young women? A lot of 25, 30-year-olds are following her thinking like, dang, well, I need to be doing all these things. I need to look like her. And look, she looks so healthy. And it's surprising that so many people don't see how this could potentially be very unhealthy, and that she potentially could be very unhealthy. It's alarming that, you know, seeing stuff like this doesn't raise more alarm bells. Now, I do have to say, though, on her Instagram, if you do scroll through the comments, you will see lots of people very concerned. Very, very concerned. Now, this is social media, and I don't think we should be addressing someone's mental health via you know, a comment on Instagram from someone that we don't know. But it's the nature of it, right? This happened. But anyways, recap here. Your body needs food. Your body loves food. Your body works off of food. If you want to have a healthy, strong body, I really recommend learning how to nourish your body well and to build a strong metabolism, not just totally deplete your body, suppress your metabolism, and suppress your body weight. It ain't gonna work out for 99.999999999% of people. So unless you think you're in the 0.000000001%, I would highly advise not doing any of these things, as they can be very dangerous, as we pointed out. Oh my gosh, look, what is this, guys? Oh, yeah, the Get Your Flow On course, which is going to help you educate yourself on what it truly means to nourish your body and have a strong metabolism so that you don't fall into all of these crazy, stupid things that are just going to mess up your metabolism and destroy your mental and physical health. So again, just a reminder that the course opens up soon, and there's a link down below so that you can get on the wait list. Now that is all I have to say in this video. I want to know what you guys think. Have you guys done any of these things? Let me know in the comment section down below. I love you guys. I hope you guys are armoring yourself against diet culture. I hope that this helped you see things in a new light. I'm going to leave links below to Dr. Stacy Sims, to some of the other articles that were there. There were a lot of other articles that I pulled up that just for sake of time did not have the time to go through it in this video, but I'm gonna put them there in case you want to go through them, because education is great, guys. All right, that is absolutely it. Please make sure you subscribe and you like this video and do all that good stuff. I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.